Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and it is interesting to see us back down at this $16 range when yesterday we hit a high of $18.32. So let's go back. Yesterday our low was at $16.26. We bounced off of that, which is right here at this 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart. Bounced off this 200 EMA all the way back to the 1832, only to come back down to the $16 range. So today definitely should be an interesting trading day. So we do have some, let's see, economic data today. At 10 a.m. we have the pending home sales, so that should be interesting. And at 2 p.m. today, the FOMC interest rate decision will come out. And at 2:30, we have Fed Chair Powell press conference. So that could very well be interesting because if something's not said during the 2 o'clock, if the decision doesn't move the market, definitely the conference can. Something can be said and it can be taken in either direction. So y'all, today is definitely going to be an interesting trading day. So where are we today, right? So our pre-market support for the VIX is around the 1662, which is an area that we've been in yesterday, or previously, let's say that. So 1663, 1662 is support. Resistance is around 1672. I would definitely watch that area of trouble for the VIX. Now, if we break out of that, just know that we're going to have trouble around the 1676. Again, here at the 1684 or 1687 area. If by chance we break this 1687, just know that we can come all the way back here to 1721, past the 1721, 1743 is going to be a trouble area, which is kind of forming an ATR trail and stop. Past the 1743, just know that 1755 is going to be a trouble place, and beyond 1755 we can come back to this 1778 and 1790. Those are going to be trouble places for the VIX, or resistance areas for the VIX to the upside. Now, can we continue down? We very well can, right? We can. So under 1663, just know that we will have trouble around the 1651. Under 1651, it kind of brings us close to this 200 EMA, which is around the 1643 area. Now, if we break the 1643 to the downside, we can come back to the 1626. So those are places that I would watch for the VIX. And the reason why I look at the VIX, because it kind of gives an overall idea of the SPY. So this is the SPY, and it is very much congested, and I'm working on that. So we are looking now at the SPY, and it closed at 542, and it's interesting to see us at 547 pre-market, considering we have some interesting information coming out today. So I would always say trade carefully because we are already gapped up to the upside. So as of right now, where are our trouble places? SPY is having trouble here at this 547.51 area. Price has come to this area and it's been there for a while, right? So I would definitely watch the 557. Let's see, 547.34, 547.34, 547.51. Those are areas of trouble, resistance to the upside. We are above the 5 EMA, but I would definitely watch this level of 546.77 because right now this is the range that we're trading in. Let's see, 546.73. So 546.73 up to the 547.34 area, I would watch as a trading zone for the SPY until we break from that place. I wouldn't look to trade or look to figure out what direction it's trying to break out of. Let's say that, right? So as of right now, where are our trouble places for the SPY? Let's say to the upside. If we break the 547.51, just know that we're going to have trouble here at 547.69, 547.94, and 548.35, beyond 548.35, 548.44. Those are going to be places where we could possibly get stopped out. 548.68 is going to be a trouble place, and 549.02. Those are going to be places to the upside that I would definitely watch the SPY. And where are our trouble places to the downside? If by chance we break under this this area of 546.75, 546.77 area, we can come back to the 546.55, under 546.55, 546.20, under 546.20, 545.97, which is right at this 20 EMA, which is around the 546.05 area. So I will watch that 546.05, 545.97 area as, you know, strong support if we break where we are now. And if by chance we break this 545.96 or 97 area, just know that we can come back to 545.66, under 545.66. That 545.50 is a level of strong support that I have for the SPY. So I would definitely watch those areas for the SPY today. Again, we'll come back to the SPY just to do a recap. So Tesla is Tesla. I say that often, right? So as of right now, pre-market support is here. Let's see, I'm going to make that a little bigger. There we are. So pre-market support for Tesla as of right now is 224.57 as support. Resistance was here around 225.21. We did try to bounce here at this 50 EMA at around the 225.74, but as you can see, we got rejected. We had some sellers right there. So right now, Tesla is trading in this zone of 224.52, 224.57 is the support, 225.21 is the resistance, and I would say trade carefully because it can move in either direction, right? So we closed at 222.62 and we did make a high of 225.74. Let me rephrase that. 4 o'clock candle is at 227.38, so we could very well come back to this area of resistance here. So where are our trouble places for Tesla today? It will need to break above this 225.75, again above the 226.13, above 226.13, 227.41, above the 227.41. Just know we can have trouble at 228.10. And above the 228.10, we can come back to this 200 EMA, looking at it on this 30-minute chart, right, at 228.92. And beyond the 228.92, we have 229.67, which is the ATR trailing stop. So those are places to the upside for Tesla that we can have some trouble. Now, to the downside, if by chance we come under this 224.54 area, just know that we can come all the way back to 223.93. Under the 223.93, we can have trouble here at 223.11. Under 223.11, we can come back to the 222.59. And under the 222.59 area, we can have trouble around the 221.99. Under the 221.99, I could see Tesla coming back to the 221.12 area. So I will watch those places to the upside and to the downside for Tesla. Just know right now we are trading in a zone and it could move in either direction. I always say, y'all, in the market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Now, AMD is interesting today, right? Because it closed at 138.44. We have a pre-market high of 152.84, which is not surprising that it got stopped out here. It's just interesting that it has gapped up so much today based on earnings, right? So where are our trouble places for AMD? It seems as if we traded in this gathering spot here for a while. Let's see. Yes, I would say around the 150.67. That's an area for AMD that I would definitely watch. And if we break that, I need to clear that off. And if we break this area, go back to the upside, where are our trouble places to the upside? It will need to get back above the 150.67. Above that, we can have trouble at 151.52. And beyond that, we can have trouble at 152.14, 152.64, 152.98, and we can come back to this 152.84. Now, if we break above the 152.84, just know that 153.98 is going to be a trouble place for us. Now, to the downside, because we have gapped up so much today, it could very well, come back and fill the gap to the downside. So where are our trouble places? As you can see, the candle came down and tested this area of 148.23, and again, this candle has not closed yet. So it came down, tested this area here. Can we continue down? We very well can. So where are our trouble places to the downside for AMD? I would watch the 147.66 area. Under the 147.66, 146.81. Under 146.81, 145.82. under the 145.82, 144.57 or 144.60, which brings us close to this 50 EMA at 144.30, and beyond the 144.30, the ATR trailing stop is forming at 143.40. So those are places to the upside and to the downside for AMD today. And just keep in mind, it closed at 138.44, and we have a pre-market high of 152.84. So that's going to be a decent sized gap to the downside that will need to be filled. So if you trade AMD today, I always say y'all trade carefully, wait on confirmation, and when it goes against your why, get out, right? So we are now looking at NVDA, and NVDA, it seems to be breaking out of a previous gathering spot here. That's mark here. And as of now, where are our trouble places? Our trouble places are around the 111.36. You see, we're breaking out of a previous zone gathering spot is what I like to say, right? Because that's where prices gathered. So we broke out of that area. So our trouble places to the upside is here at the 111.36 area. Beyond the 111.36, 111.94. Beyond 111.94, just know 112.67 or 112.65. Beyond the 112.65, just know trouble is at 113.61. At the 113.61 is right at the 200 EMA, so this 113.77 also is going to be a trouble place. So it's kind of like a strong resistance area here around this 113.77, 113.61 area. So if by chance we break that, just know that we could very well have trouble at 115.28. Those are going to be trouble places for NVIDIA to the upside. Now, to the downside, if we break under this level of 109.87, under 109.87, just know that we can come back to 109.24. Under 109.24, we can come back to 108.53. Under the 108.53, we can come back to the 107.46 area, 107.50 area. Under that 107.50, just know that we can come back to 106.44. Under the 106.44, it brings us close to this ATR trailing stop at 105.92. So those are places to the upside and to the downside that I will watch for NVIDIA today. And we do have some inside day candles, and I'll give the triggers to those really, really quick. So if by chance, let's see, CCL, Carnival Cruise Line, breaks above the 1741 or break above 1739, then 1754 is the target. If we break under 1706, then 1703 is the target to the downside. DVN Energy is an inside day candle, and let's see, we have already reached that target to the upside. So the trigger was at the 46.31, and the target was at 46.57. Well, we have reached 46.87 pre-market. So DVN has already reached the target to the upside. Now, can it continue climbing? It very well can. Let's see how much DVN normally moves on a daily basis. $1.11 or $1.10. So we've already exceeded that today. So let's look and see where our downside is. If by chance we come back and break under this 46.31 and under 45.51, the target to the downside is 45.14. So if you trade DVN Energy today, I always say y'all trade carefully. NIO is an inside day candle. We have already reached the target for NIO today to the upside, which is interesting. 444 was the trigger. If it broke past that, beyond that place, gave us a target of 447. We have reached 456 pre-market here. Now to the downside, if by chance we come back under this 444, we will need to come under the $4.31 area, gives us a target of $4.30. So if you trade NIO, I always say y'all trade carefully, but it too is an inside day candle, and we have already reached the target. Oxy is an inside day candle. We have reached the target already pre-market. It's interesting that most of our inside day candles have already reached the target, right? So it beyond the 60.44 gave us a target of 60.78, and as you can see, we have made a high of $61.23 pre-market. Now, being that it closed at 60.27 and we've reached 61.23, we may have a small gap to the downside. So let's look and see if we get back under the 60.44 and break under 59.79. Just know that 59.54 is the target for Oxy to the downside. Sound, S-O-U-N, is an inside day candle. It has not reached the target. So if it breaks above $5.14, then 5.26 is the target. under 481 gives us a target of 475. And let's see how much sound normally moves per day. 60 cents, and that could be in either direction. So if you trade sound, S-O-U-N, I say trade carefully today. Anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So Wells Fargo is an inside day candle today. Above 60.75 gives us a target of 60.84. Under 59.88 gives us a target of 59.34. And let's see how much Wells Fargo normally moves, about $1.56, again in either direction. So if you trade WFC, trade carefully today because anything is possible. IWM was an inside day candle today, and it too has broken the trigger. We did break the trigger, but we got rejected in that area. So if by chance we break above this level of 224.80 and we could reach the target of 225.47. If by chance we come down under 221.05, then 220.58 is the target to the downside. So yes, those are some of our inside day candles for today. And again, anything is possible. Do not rush into your trades. Make sure you have confirmation as to why you're entering your trades, and once it goes against your why, get out. I always say live to trade another day, right? What is interesting is the SPY. The closing at 542, and already we are up 548.18, and it looks like on this 30-minute chart we are just making higher highs. As you can see, we are moving to the upside. So where are our trouble places for the SPY? And I'm gonna mess this up. Okay, where are our trouble places for the SPY as of right now? So we had a high of 548.15. Just know that we're going to have trouble at 548.21, 548.34, 548.44. Those are places that we can get rejected and come back down. So above the 548.44, just know 548.68, 548.81 and 548.98 are going to be trouble places for the SPY to the upside. Keep in mind the SPY has gapped up today, so it could very well come back to the downside because, you know, we do have some economic data coming out today. So again, it's interesting to see it move up before that information comes out. So again, I always say trade carefully, pay attention to your charts and trade what you see, right? So yeah, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. And if you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, y'all. We learn and we grow together. So I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.